Hey, well, I tried to record something last night, but it didn't quite. So, today I'm going to talk, once again, I did this last night, but today I'm going to talk about divorce and survival. Because divorce is one heck of a thing to deal with. Believe me, I know I'm divorced. Um, but, we go into relationships very open and kind of looking around and wondering, can this work? I mean, I when I got married, unfortunately, I was lonely, and I found someone who I clicked with, and I was longing for that. And unfortunately, uh, sometimes we don't know people like we think we know people, and it kind of rushed more than I wanted it to. Um, we live and learn by our experiences, and I always dreamt about marriage, always wanted to be married. And, then I look now at decisions. But how do you survive? You put your heart and soul in something. I unfortunately had an accident, so that threw off a lot of things because, well, I couldn't work anymore, and um, life is different. And then you find out really how people are, and even perception. I mean, if I was in a situation and my loved one had a brain injury, I guess I'm a different person because I'd rejoice at all the gains. Um, but again, it's preparing you. I mean, you're the crux of your relationships, your life. And without you being 100% and you being where you should be, it's hard to share your life with somebody else. And it's hard to be the real you are if you don't have things settled and you don't let go of that past feeling. You can't go into another relationship expecting things to be 100% fantastic because it doesn't happen that way. So we all look at things in a different way. We all have different perceptions. So in divorce, it's two people coming together trying to get a common ground, and you're gonna fight, but it's communication. It's getting it out, getting on the table, and resolving it. If you don't do that, it builds up and builds up and builds up and explodes. Yeah, there's some people who don't like to talk, don't like to get it out, but your spouse is supposed to be the most closest person you have in your life. So you should be able to talk, you should be able to get it out, you should be able to trust enough to do that. That makes the whole structure fall. If you both can't be agreement, bringing kids in the mix doesn't work. If you feel there's something not going right, then you talk about it. You get it out. It's marriage counseling 101, but it's very hard when you're actually in a relationship. I get that. But if you want relationships to last, you don't have a choice. You have to because you have another person with other needs. So there's going to be conflicts, but it's getting the balance. And that's why, getting to know somebody and spending time with somebody is one thing. Living with somebody, getting to know them in that perspective is a whole different ballgame. That's why a lot of people, I'm imagining that, are living with each other before marriage to see if it's going to work, but it's still that sacrifice, that putting in that time. That takes a lot of stuff out of a person to put in time, put in themselves. For what? So it's just looking at the big picture and knowing that person inside and out before you commit to somebody. I mean, marriage, I I loved being a wife. I really did. I loved having somebody right there who loved me. Because life changes. Friends change. People change. And depending on what you're talking about, if you keep bringing up about divorce and like that, people don't want to hear that negativity. But we learn that just by talking to people. Who wants to be around somebody who's always negative, down? Life things happen. Bad, good, they happen. And it's a learning process. But the next time you find somebody, you have to look at what happened in the past. You have to look at what happened in that relationship. Do you want somebody who is the same? Do you want to be in the same mold, or you want something different? Then you have to assess what happened. What was your role? What was the other person's role? It's never one-sided. Then you can take a step and find the person that would match what you really want. It's finding what you really want. And that's the challenge. Finding that person that you really want based on the desired type of person it is. So it's very interesting to see how life evolves and to get to know what you want. So I know different now because I've kind of sat down and I've gone through everything, and letting go of your past and taking that step is that first step. And being around people just to be around people again, because isolation almost happens when you're divorced. And like I said, you lose close people from your life because of all of that drama and the relationship between you and your ex and the mutual friends. So it's just a never-ending circle. So getting yourself where you need to be first, then venturing out and opening your heart to somebody else, because that trust issue is big. So, I like seeing all the different types of people out there. And then, because you're going to have combined things, you're going to have different things, but that red flag is an important thing to look at. The red flag. And that'll be the next video, is the red flag. Thank you.